In this episode, we talk about states refusing to implement the PM-SHRI scheme for government schools proposed by the centre. We also talk about 12 Maoists being neutralized on the Maharashtra-Chhattisgarh border. But first we talk about the Delhi Kedarnath Temple Row. Hi, I am Niharika Nanda and you are listening to 3 Things, the Indian Express news show. The Kedarnath Dham Trust Delhi is in the process of building a Kedarnath temple in the capital. The construction of this temple has become a bone of contention between the BJP and the Congress and has also led to protests by priests at the Rudraprayag temple. The Kedarnath Dham is one of the most revered pilgrimage sites, especially for Hindus.
Yeah, this temple is situated in Rudraprayag district, and Kedarnath Dham is one of the most revered pilgrimage sites in India and holds immense spiritual significance for Hindus.
That was Indian Express's Avaneesh Mishra.
This temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva and it is one of the 12 Jyotirling which is representing the God's supreme power. The pilgrims visiting Kedarnath, they believe that offering prayers there can absolve them of all the sins and lead to salvation. And this particular temple was originally built in 18th century AD by Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya, and it is believed that it stands adjacent to the site of an even earlier temple which was built by the Pandavas during the Mahabharata times.
The row comes after Uttarakhand CM Pushkar Dhami laid the foundation stone of the temple in Delhi. The Kedarnath Dham Trust founder Surendra Rautela said that the trust had invited Dhami as a gesture because he has been looking after the successful execution of the Char Dham Yatra, so they wanted him to be present at the event.
और जहां तक आप केदारनाथ धाम की बात कर रहे हैं, केदारनाथ धाम दिल्ली में मंदिर बन रहा है, हम धाम नहीं बना रहे हैं. ये अनावश्यक तूल पकड़ा जा रहा है क्योंकि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी हमारे उस कार्यक्रम में भूमि पूजन के लिए हम सब लोगों की रिक्वेस्ट पे वहां गए थे. वो तो धर्म रक्षक हैं, वो तो धर्म के लिए बड़ा अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. चार धाम जो यात्रा है उन्होंने बहुत सुगम और अच्छे तरीके से चलाई है, पूरे उत्तराखंड का नाम रोशन किया है. तो हमने हमारी रिक्वेस्ट थी कि वो लोग वहां पे आ जाएं और हमारे भूमि पूजन में हम एक अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, उत्तराखंड की संस्कृति को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, केदार का नाम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, इसलिए हम उनको यहाँ बुलाया था. हमारे कहने रिक्वेस्ट पे वहां गए थे, लेकिन उनका उस मंदिर से कोई योगदान नहीं है, उनका कोई लेना देना नहीं है, उस ट्रस्ट में उनका कहीं नाम नहीं है और ना ही उत्तराखंड सरकार का किसी तरह से कोई योगदान हमें मिला है और ना ही हमने उनसे मांगा है कभी भी. लेकिन अब जिस तरीके से
To understand why the temple is facing such an opposition, we are joined by Avaneesh Mishra. Avaneesh, can you begin by telling us a little bit about this new temple that is in the works in Delhi?
Yeah, so this temple is being built by this private trust which is called SHRI Kedarnath Dham Trust Delhi, and the temple is being built in Burari. And last Wednesday, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami participated in an event which was held in Burari and where he laid the foundation stone for this particular temple. During the event, Dhami stated that constructing Baba Kedar's temple in Delhi would fulfill the wishes of Shiva devotees. And the trust which is building this temple, they announced that this Delhi temple will have the same form as the original Kedarnath temple which is in Rudraprayag district, and the method of worship will also be the same. It is also announced that they will bring a Shila from Kedarnath itself, and that particular Shila will be established in the proposed temple.
And why has this new Kedarnath temple become a bone of contention?
So, reacting to the Chief Minister and BJP MLAs laying the foundation stone for this symbolic Kedarnath Dham temple in Delhi, the Congress and others have been strongly opposing the move, calling it a mockery of faith and grave insult to the Dham itself and the Devbhumi and the Hindu Sanatan Dharma. They are saying that the Kedarnath Dham has its own history and beliefs and importance, and it is not a franchise that you can establish anywhere. And this whole statement by those who are building the temple that it will have the same form which is there in the Uttarakhand Kedarnath temple, the method of worship will be exactly the same, and they are bringing a Shila from Kedarnath itself and will establish that Shila here. So these things are also not helping this argument that this is just a temple and not related to the Kedarnath temple. And amid this entire controversy, the priest and Tirth Purohit of the Kedarnath temple, they have also sat on protest against this proposed construction of this temple in Delhi.
What does the BJP have to say about this new temple?
Since this controversy started, the BJP is trying to clarify that the construction of this new temple in Delhi is of a Kedarnath temple and not the Kedarnath Dham, and also that the Uttarakhand government has no role in this temple's construction. And Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami went and attended that event because he was requested by some people who were associated with the temple to come there and be the chief guest. BJP State President Mahendra Bhatt, he even mentioned that in 2015 a temple dedicated to Lord Badrinath was built in Mumbai and the foundation stone was laid by then Congress Chief Minister Harish Rawat. He also emphasized that the Kedarnath temple is being constructed by a private trust which is called SHRI Kedarnath Dham Trust Delhi, and as I said, Chief Minister attended the event because there was a respectful invitation from the trust itself.
And Avneesh, from what we understand, the Congress has been opposing the construction of this temple. So what have been their arguments against it?
They have been saying that during the foundation laying ceremony of this symbolic Kedarnath temple, Chief Minister Dhami said that who cannot reach to Baba Kedar can visit him in Delhi, and even mentioned that Uttarakhand Baba Kedar can be seen only for a few months, while in Delhi the Kedarnath Dham will be open all year round. So these are the things which the Congress is using against their argument that this temple which is being built in Delhi is kind of trying itself to be a replica of the original Kedarnath temple, which is kind of going against the belief and faith of the Hindus.
And Avneesh, you just mentioned that a Badrinath temple was built in Mumbai. So can you talk a little bit about that and what the Congress's take was on the same?
So the BJP is accusing that in 2015 there was a similar temple which was built in Mumbai. It was dedicated to Lord Badrinath, and that the foundation stone of that temple was laid by then Chief Minister Harish Rawat. He was the Congress Chief Minister. So they are saying that when you did that thing, then it was okay. But when Dhami attended a similar event, then you are saying that it is going against the Hindu beliefs. But the logic Congress is trying to give is that temple, they were not trying to portray itself as like a copy or a replica or something very similar to the original Badrinath temple. Instead, it was called a Badrinath temple and not the Badrinath Dham. While in this case, the Congress is claiming that the temple which is coming in Delhi is kind of being presented as the Kedarnath Dham. And even the trust which is building this temple is called SHRI Kedarnath Dham Trust Delhi. So that is the point, and that is what the Congress is trying to say, that both the cases, the temple built in Mumbai and the temple which is proposed to be built in Delhi, are two different cases and very different from each other.
And also Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami, who laid the foundation stone in Delhi, what were his views on the temple?
So talking to the media, he gave a very small statement, and he clarified that the Jyotirling can only be in one place and the Dham cannot be located elsewhere. He also mentioned that the symbolic temples may be built in different places, but the Jyotirlinga is in Uttarakhand and nowhere else.
केदारनाथ धाम चूँकि हमारा जो ज्योतिर्लिंग है उसका स्थान एक ही है, दूसरे स्थान पर धाम नहीं हो सकता है। प्रतीकात्मक रूप से मंदिर चूँकि अनेक स्थानों पर बने हैं, ऐसे स्थानों पर मंदिर बनते रहे, लेकिन मूल स्थान जो है ज्योतिर्लिंग हमारा उत्तराखंड के अंदर ही है, दूसरे स्थान पर धाम नहीं हो सकता।
And Avneesh, you also had a word with the Badrinath Kedarnath Temple Committee. So what did they have to say about this?
So the Badrinath Kedarnath Temple Committee, the BKTC, they have kind of joined this debate, and they also defended the BJP government and said that there is no connection to the Kedarnath Temple being built in Delhi and the original Kedarnath Temple, and also the government or the BKTC is not providing any monetary support to this. However, the BKTC has kind of taken note of people or individuals using the names, photos or videos of Sri Kedarnath and the Badrinath Dham for commercial gain or, take chanda from the people. So that is something they have kind of taken cognizance of, but they have not specifically named this particular trust, which is kind of using the name of the Kedarnath Dham to build a temple and probably collect some donations from the people.
Next, we talk about a scheme for government schools worth rupees 27,000 crore. In 2022, the centre came up with the PM-SHRI scheme, or the Pradhan Mantri School for Rising India scheme, a scheme with the budget of rupees 27,000 crore for the next 5 years, which aims to upgrade at least 14,500 government schools to showcase the implementation of the National Education Policy 2020. This scheme requires the states to confirm their participation by signing a memorandum of understanding with the Education Ministry. However, certain states have refused to implement this scheme and now are facing the consequences of the same. To understand why some states have refused the implementation of this scheme and the consequences that they are facing as a result, we have Indian Express's Abhinaya Harigovind joining us. Abhinaya, can you begin by telling us what the PM-SHRI scheme is?
So the PM-SHRI scheme is called PM Schools for Rising India. It's a scheme that was launched in 2022 and it's meant to work on about 14,500 schools across the country. And these are existing schools that are either managed by the center, by the state government or by the local governments. And these schools are to be turned into exemplar schools, which are then supposed to showcase aspects of the national education policy of 2020. So there are certain quality benchmarks that these schools are then expected to achieve once they become PM-SHRI schools. That is, they will have to incorporate certain learning methods using things like sports and experiential learning. Vocational education will then have to be part of their system. So these are some of the aspects that they will then have to include. And PM-SHRI schools will also have to add PM-SHRI with the name of the school. So the PM-SHRI will be prefixed to the name of the school. So that is essentially what the PM-SHRI school scheme is. It is partly funded by the center and partly by the state. It is to be funded 60% by the center and about 40% by the states.
And which states have refused to implement this scheme, and what has been the result of this refusal?
So Delhi, West Bengal and Punjab have refused to implement the scheme. Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Orissa have agreed earlier this year to implement the scheme. So Orissa, Kerala and Tamil Nadu have agreed that they will implement the scheme. Kerala and Tamil Nadu are yet to sign the MOU, but they have written to the center earlier this year saying that they will be implementing the scheme. For West Bengal, Delhi and Punjab, the center has not released the share that the center is supposed to provide for a scheme called the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. So this amounts to around 330 crores for Delhi. So the states receive these funds from the center in 4 installments in one academic year. So the states are yet to receive the 3rd and 4th installment for the 2023-24 academic year and the first installment for the current academic year, which is the 2024-25 academic year. So which means that they have not received funds for the October to December installment for last year, January to March of this year, and April to June again of this year. So for Delhi, it's about 330 crores, which is about 250 crores from last year and around 80 crores from the center this year. For Punjab, this is around 515 crores. And for West Bengal, this is over 1,000 crores.
And Abhinaya, you just mentioned the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Can you tell us what that is, and is the PM-SHRI a part of that?
The Samagra Shiksha scheme includes funding to the state from the center to ensure that the provisions of the RT Act are implemented. The Samagra Shiksha scheme is partly funded again by the center and partly by the state. So according to the Ministry of Education, PM-SHRI and Samagra Shiksha are linked. At the state level, the PM-SHRI scheme is to be implemented through what is the already existing administrative structure that is available for Samagra Shiksha. And also the assistance that the PM-SHRI schools receive over 5 years will actually depend on the performance of these schools on the Samagra Shiksha indicators as well. So the two schemes are linked, which is why officials in the ministry have been saying that they have not been releasing funds for Samagra Shiksha when these states have not been implementing or have not agreed to implement PM-SHRI.
Right. And what reasons have been given by these states for their refusal to implement the scheme?
The states have written to the center multiple times asking for these funds. Delhi has written, Punjab has written to the center, West Bengal has also written to the center asking for these funds to be released to them. The Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab and in Delhi have a similar reason for not implementing it, which is that they have model schools that are already functioning. Here, like Delhi has something called the Schools of Specialized Excellence, and in Punjab they have something similar that's called Schools of Eminence. So that is why Delhi and Punjab are saying that they don't want to implement the PM-SHRI scheme. West Bengal is opposed to the idea of prefixing the name of the school with PM-SHRI, which is mandated under the scheme.
And Abhinaya, from what we understand, Punjab had opted to implement the PM-SHRI scheme, but then it changed its decision. So why did that happen, and what did Punjab's education minister say about this?
Yeah, so Punjab signed the MOU with the centre in 2022 and then it opted out of the scheme in 2023 on the grounds that its own School of Eminence program. So they have communicated something similar to the centre as well. They have said that they don't want to implement the PM-SHRI scheme because they have their own Schools of Eminence program that's running along similar lines. And Punjab's education minister has said that the scheme only involves revamping existing schools and is not about making new schools. So then their only intention appears to be to enter the state's education scene by writing PM-SHRI on the boards. And that Punjab would be all in for the PM-SHRI schools if the scheme involves making new schools. And he also seems to have said that efforts have been made to resolve these issues, but since the centre has stopped releasing these funds, it could now become difficult to pay salaries.
And Abhinaya, what is the current situation like as far as the educational funds for these states are concerned?
Since these funds have not been received from October to June, in 3 installments. One impact that this has had is that it has hit salaries for teachers who are employed under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, as well as staffers who are part of the program, at least in Delhi. In Delhi, it has hit the salaries for about 2,400 teachers working in municipal corporation primary schools from April onwards. So what had happened was that the state government had funded some part of the centre's share for the 2023-24 academic year. They paid about 200 crores out of the 250 crores that was due from the centre. But since that was for last year, so this year's installments, this year's share from both the centre and the state from April onwards remains pending, which is around 80 crores from the centre and about 40 crores from the state for April to June. So on account of that, the salaries are pending. There are also other school-related funding aspects that have been hit on account of this. One is that SSA funds are used to provide free textbooks, uniforms, stationery to children in government schools. So the SSA funds are also used to ensure that the provisions of the RTE Act are implemented. So it helps to support education for children with special needs. SSA funds are also used to provide reimbursement to private schools for economically weaker section students, for students in the economically weaker section category. Again, so funding for all of this has also been hit.
And in the end, we talk about 12 Maoists being killed in an encounter on the Maharashtra-Chhattisgarh border. Yesterday, the Gadchiroli police neutralized 12 Maoists, including a senior divisional committee member, at Wandoli village on the Maharashtra-Chhattisgarh border. The police said that 7 C-60 parties were sent to their hideout location, and after the operation that lasted over 6 hours, 12 bodies of Maoists and several automatic weapons were recovered. According to police officials, the Gadchiroli police received information that around 12 to 15 Naxals were camping near the village. Subsequently, an operation was launched at around 10 a.m. yesterday, in which 7 C-60 parties, led by the Deputy Superintendent of Police Operations, were sent near the Chhattisgarh border in the Wandoli village. A senior police officer said, quote, "A heavy exchange of fire started in the afternoon and continued intermittently till late evening for more than 6 hours. Area search has led to the recovery of 12 Maoist dead bodies till now. One police sub-inspector of C-60 and one Jawan have suffered bullet injuries. They are out of danger, have been evacuated and have been shifted to Nagpur." Unquote. The officials further added that the searches had led to the recovery of 7 automatic weapons, including 3 AK-47s, 2 Insas rifles, a carbine and an SLR from the spot. 2 of the deceased have been identified as DVCM Lakshman Atram, alias Vishal Atram, who was in charge of the Tipagarh Dalam, and the Sarite Parsa, an area committee member. Superintendent of Gadchiroli Police, Niloptal, said that the further identification of Maoists and the area search is going on. Soon after the encounter, Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, who is also the Guardian Minister of Gadchiroli, declared a cash reward of Rs 51 lakhs for the C-60 commandos and the Gadchiroli police for the successful major operation. In May, 3 Maoists, including 2 females, were killed in an encounter by the Gadchiroli police. Even then, arms including 3 automatic weapons, including an AK-47, a carbine and an Indian small arms system INSAS, Maoist literature and belongings were recovered after the encounter. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by me, Niharika Nanda. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it. Share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.